In today's video, we are going to look at a game played between FN Galler and Alexi Drabe. And this was played in New York Open 1990. And it was played in French defense. Let's see, continue with the game. E4, E6, the start. D4, D5, the start of the French defense. Now knight D2. White develops his knight over here on D2. Instead of C3 is that, then black can immediately pin this knight over here, and that is a very sharp variation of French defense. To avoid this sequence to get pinned by this bishop over here on b4, white develops his knight over here on d2. Then, if still black plays the move b4, then c3, and then this knight would not be pinned. That is the point behind playing this move knight d2. a6 by white, immediately stopping the development of the bishop over here and give the check to the king. Knight gf3, a normal development. c5, hitting the center. E into d5, E into d5. Now, black's, in French, you have a problem with black's bishop, light square bishop. Now it's open. And in return, what white has gained? He has gained the immediate development of his pieces and going to immediately castle. Bishop e2, c4. The point of playing the move c4 is that it is aggressive, actually a sequence of theory that you are stopping this bishop to come over here on d3. It's natural square to castle, and you may see that in this sequence of the moves, white has a lead in development a lot. So bishop d6, and black is saying, okay, I'm going to play the move knight d6, going to play the move knight to f6, and going to castle. And how to stop it? You can stop it by creating a threat, and that is b3, that you are going to take the pawn, and b5 by black. And this is actually a risky approach, but still we are in the theory. But this is actually a risky approach. It was a better one, a more solid approach. C into b3, a into b3, now knight c6, and it is more reliable than the approach which was taken by in the game, and that was b5. So b5 was played in the game, and now a4, immediately hitting this pawn over here, and b7. The point is that what happens if black plays the move c3? I want you people to pause the video and think that what happens if black plays the move c3, how then white should continue. The point is that if black plays the move c3 and it is hitting your knight over here, you will counter by playing the move a into b5. You will be a piece down, but your pawns will be completely rolling on the queen side. This is the concept, and actually this is also a theory. Because now a into b5 and c into d2, taking the piece, bishop into d2. Black can't take this pawn over here because this rook is hanging. So he plays the move knight e7 and now c4. And it will be followed by c4, c5, and this pawn is going to move to b6. This pawn is going to move to b4, then b5, hitting this pawn over here. And white has a lot of compensation, more than enough. And FN Galler played this sequence of the moves against Chervisky in USSR in 1980. I'm going to show you one thing more, that after c3, white, it will be blunder if white plays the move knight b1, because now immediately b4. And this knight and this rook is stuck for eternity on these scale. They cannot get well. Because now black is going to play the move just this a5, and white would be completely stuck. He would have to give up away this one knight for these two pawns to activate his rook. So in the game, bishop b7 was played in due to this sequence of the moves, and now b into c. And this simple capture was actually an improvement to the game which was played between Ivanchuk and Dolmatov in Irkutsk 1986, where white was unable to seize the advantage. I'm going to show you that instead of bishop into c4, rook e1 was tried by Ivanchuk against Dolmatov. But now black played the move knight e7 first. Now b into c4 he played. After b into c4, now white gave up a piece. Bishop into c4, d into c4, knight into c4. And here I want you people to pause the video, and this is because a very tricky one. And this move is with an exclamation mark. Dolmatov find the best move in the position to save the position, save the game actually. And the move was bishop e4 first, hitting the rook. Now white tried to play the move c3, and now the move was bishop e5. These two moves now saved game for black. But what happens if after c3 black captures this pawn? I want you people to once again pause the video and think that what happens that if bishop captures this key pawn. The problem with this is that after bishop into c, now knight d, queen has to take now bishop a3, and these are not an easy moves to find really, because now queen has to take on a3 and rook into a3. Although if you will put this position in the computer, it will say that it is equal, 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 equal. But on the board, white is a queen up, and he has still two rooks and one knight. That's why you can't take this. So after rook e1, which was played by Ivanchuk in the game against Tormatov, knight e7, b into c4, b into c4, bishop into c4, d into c4, knight into c4, bishop b4, c3, bishop d5, c into b4, now bishop into c4. And white does not had sufficient compensation actually for the piece he just gave away. But in this sequence of the moves, immediately taking in bishop into c4. Now, the point is that you will see that why it is good. Because after bishop into c4, now bishop into c4. Now it would have a lot of compensation because this rook would is not on e1, is still on f1. The whole point of this move sequence is that this rook is still on f1, not e1, so it is not being threatened by the bishop when it would be played to d4. So d into c4, now knight into c4, and bishop e7. If knight into e7, then the same sequence of the moves arise because knight into d6 check, queen into d6, now bishop a3, Queen has to move back. Queen c7. Now rook e, and this knight is threatened. So knight b c6, protecting the knight. Now the beautiful move is d5. Now white is going to take back his piece with great initiative in the position. So that's why bishop e7 was played in the game, and now rook e. Bishop is pinned. Queen c7 by black, and now rook b1. As this queen was hitting this knight, and white said, "Okay, you are going to take my knight. I am going to take your bishop." Black went out with his plan, and that is queen into c4, and now he went out with into b7. Now this bishop is hit twice by the rooks, protected by this knight only. Knight c6, bringing one more defender to this bishop. Now knight d. It was very timely played and precisely played, hitting this queen, getting the defender of this knight out of the way. And I want you people to pause the video and think that wherever the queen moves, what is the plan in the white's mind actually? The whole thing is that what is the plan in white's mind? How he wants to continue. Black took on e4, and here now bishop e. You see that everything white's pieces are doing some job, and black's two pieces, three pieces are on their initials. I want to show you one thing that I ask you people that what what happens if black plays the move queen into a4? Then the simple continuation is d5, and white is winning. What happens if black tries to play the move queen d5? Then first c4. Now again queen into d4. Now again bishop to sorry b2, taking control of this diagonal. So in the game, queen into d4 was played, and now bishop d2. I have explained this position to you people. Queen into a4, taking another pawn, and now rook e4. Instead of here, you will be thinking that why white did not take this pawn. And the point is that this move was better. Bishop into g7 was more precise instead of the move rook e4 which was played in the game. Because here black can't stop it. For example, he tries to castle. Now rook comes over here to b3. And this rook is going to fall, and white will be an exchange up with a lot of mobility for his piece. In the game, rook e4 was played. This is also a good move. And now a mistake by uh, Alexei Drev, queen a2. And this is a very tough position and very complicated one. And I want you people to again pause the video and think that black to play and still remain in the game, still remain in an equal position, black to play. And it was not an easy move to find, and that is queen a5. The point of this queen a5 move is that if now bishop into g7, castle, now this knight is threatened, This rook is threatened. And now black pieces have an activity. And these are the type of moves you have to find in your game. Think out of the box. So queen a2 was played and now bishop into g7. Now black played the move castle, hitting the rook, but now rook b3. And it is all over for black, sorry. Because white species have so much activity that black can't do anything. This queen is stuck over here. This whole king side is opened. This knight is protecting this bishop. This knight is protecting the bishop. This rook is threatened of black. And just with the move queen to e2, this knight would be free of white. After he plays the move, any escape move, a left move, h3. Here black tried the move bishop f6. Now queen g4 check. And this bishop is going to fall. King c7, queen f4 check. King c8. What happens if after queen f4 check, rook d6 is played? How can you counter this move? It's very simple. You play the move rook d3. An immediate win for white. So king c8. Now bishop into f6, knight into f6, queen into f6. And white has taken back his piece with a lot of advantage. As this queen is hitting this knight, this queen is protecting this a1 square of check. This rook is threatening. This file is controlled by the rook, b file. Here black played the move queen into c2, and now I want you people to pause the video, and this is a very beautiful puzzle for you people. Why to play and win the queen? Why to play and win black queen? I hope you have found it. If you have not found it, kindly do more work on tactics. This is my advice, and that is queen f5 check. Because this king can't move over here on these squares because this rook is protecting this file. King has to move to c7, and after this check, the queen falls. Okay, this was the end of the video. If you like it, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you very much.